Not sure if you can hear me, but it feels pretty weird talking to a headphone. But we're doing this without any headphones. The feeling is greater, but the repetition, we should do this. I'll get comfortable. Those cats. Back. So that cat's getting it on or some shit. Alright, so a few things that my therapy group mentioned to me is that you should name things like, I don't know, naming colors. Well, that wasn't taught, but it was more like, I'm going based off my old therapist, but one that was mentioned was naming like 5 things you can see. I guess seeing a color is seeing something, so like a gate, white gate, tree, you know, sidewalk, what can you feel? So as I'm walking, in my head I'll be saying some of these things. Like, oh, there's a car, there's a flower, things like that. I'm breathing in, breathing out. You want to be sure to control your breathing a little bit. Not excessively, just easily. Breathing in. I mean, right here, I'm comfortable here, but you know, when it gets to the more difficult areas, you will notice my breathing increase. But I try not to overdo it, because I don't want to freak myself out. And what I mean by that is, if I breathe, it's like you don't want to start hyperventilating, I guess. Because I find that I freak myself out. So by having some control. Sorry, let me look at the truck pass. By having some control of your breathing, making sure it's not too fast or too deep. It will be hard at times, but like I said, through repetition, that should be easier. That's what we talked about in the group therapy. Like repetition, not avoiding, things like that. What I'll do is I started, I don't want to say like going to a checkpoint, but I'll grab like a rock from that place that I was just at, and it's kind of like a token, like taking it as like an achievement kind of a thing. But and then the goal is to take them back with me when I'm home, and then like when I get back home, and then either the next day or I try to do it the next day. Sometimes I forget, but the next day I'll go on my walk again, take the rocks with me, and put them back. So it's like a reward system. It's like I'm going there to pick them up one by one. Like it signifies each lap that I do, or not lap, but like just achieving going that distance. And then I'll put them back. Kind of like the same thing. Like it's a reason for me to go there, type of a thing. To push me. Like, oh, you're almost there, so you can put the rock back. But the guy who lives there, I've never really seen the guy who lives at that house, but I saw him right as I put the rock down. I looked and he was fixing his fence or something. I'm like, oh shit. So that was kind of awkward. But I kind of made it look like I was looking for something or whatever. It's just a little rock, Nothing too major. But yeah. It is a bit harder to not wear headphones, like I mentioned. I have them with me, but I'm not. Okay, at times I did panic a little bit. Not really, well, yeah, I guess it's like panic. I just quickly put them on. I didn't have any music playing or anything, just, I don't know, to kind of drown out the noise. But yeah, the group therapy that I'm in is trying to teach us not to do those things. Don't use headphones. It's called subtle avoidance, where you use something to distract yourself from the anxiety. And even though you know, going on a walk itself, like achieving this right here, even with headphones, would have been, well, was a struggle for me. You know, I still, you know, I don't know, I was using it as like a calm relaxer, you know, like I would listen to calm music, because I have this subscription with the Calm app. It offers like a ton of free, or not free, a lot of calming music. So I was using that to, you know, help me a little bit. Well, I shouldn't say a little bit, I should say a lot of it. But yeah, so now, after the group therapy that I had yesterday, and after it taught us about the subtle avoidances, now I'm starting to not use, or at least try not to use the headphones. Like sometimes I'll like slightly, I don't know, like slightly do it. Like I mentioned, like I'll put on some headphones if I'm panicky. This is my first day doing this, so it's kind of weird. Well, it's not weird, it's just different, you know, because I think I've always used headphones to distract me, whether I'm at home or, you know, even like outside for sure. Not all the time when I go outside, like just sometimes. Like if I'm feeding like my dog, or like the dog, or like feeding, or like putting like cat food out, I won't wear headphones. And before I wasn't able to do that, like a long time ago. But yeah. So this is a new experience for me, you know, not using headphones at all. Especially when there's traffic, like it was like 2 o'clock or 2:30, and school got out, and you can imagine how that was. Like a lot of noise, a lot of cars, a lot of kids, you know. So it's just a lot of noise. So, and to be someone with Jesus, can't talk. To be someone who has, you know, severe anxiety, whatever. It's different to not wear headphones and all that. So, but I'm gonna keep doing it. Still going on my 2-hour walks, and I believe I probably have like an hour and 20 minutes still to go. But yeah, we'll get it done. It's very I don't know, it's a different experience. And I realize every like 10-20 seconds I'm talking to my phone. You gotta understand, this is not something I'm used to at all. So I've never really documented my experience at all. So it's a bit different, but so I got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we only got 6. Let me see. 1, 2, 4. Oh, I guess we only have 6 more. Talking about the rocks. Okay. So that guy's there, and we'll just pretend like we're doing something. I want to like put my leg up on the saying I can untie my shoe or something. But yeah, right here is where it gets kind of difficult, especially with no headphones. But like I said, repetition. Sorry, the noise is the water bottle. It was actually kind of calming to hear it because I was paying attention to the noise while I was on my walk. I mean, like going to the going where I just went right now. And yeah, so we're doing good. Alright, let's try to cross the street. Now this is an area I haven't gone down. I mean, I have gone down this street recently, like today, earlier, like 50 minutes ago, and yesterday as well, but I was using headphones. So I'm gonna try to at least get to that no school sign right there. Or, sorry, no left turn sign. This is without headphones. Okay, so remember, breathe in, breathe out. Oh, I just touched it. Okay, breathe in, breathe out. Truck. See a yellow walk sign. Looking across each way. We're safe. Okay. We're good. Okay. So, yeah, we're doing good so far. I actually didn't think it'd be going this good, to be honest. Because at times I was, panicking a little bit when I got to the more difficult areas, I guess. But I find that, like previously, I would lose focus and not be able to. I would lose my train of thought, like when I would panic. Like I wasn't able to ground myself. Like any techniques that you would have told me, I would have just those went right out the window. Like breathing or like focusing on like this, like a tree, or even counting these steps. Is a tool that I utilize now, but prior to this, like, I would just throw that out the window. Like, to me, it was just straight panic. Like, don't even think about nothing other than panic. But, I don't like doing that now. Like, now my mind is focused, like, on, paying attention to my surroundings and, naming different things. Okay. Alright, so Another thing I want to mention is, so where was I? Sorry. I was so focused on, panic that I didn't trust myself. And what I mean by that, it's just exactly kind of what it means. If there's wind, I apologize. But it's like that. It's when you have severe anxiety, you don't want to trust yourself. Or how should I word that? You don't have confidence in yourself to be able to trust yourself. So anything, look, there's a cat. Just cute cat. So anything that you would panic about, you would just stick to the panic. Like you kind of don't know anything else. And then to get yourself out of that panic, you wouldn't necessarily put yourself in more panic. You would just avoid it. Disgusting. The spits like that. Mother said. Yeah, see mother. Alright, so as I was saying, you give into the panic. You don't trust yourself. Like right here, I'm getting uncomfortable. So I'm still gonna make it to that square. I'm gonna make it back. Another goal. Like right here, I would have panicked right here. Like right when I turned around, I would have speed walk so fast to the end of the street and just not focused. I wouldn't be able to talk right now. That's how not focused I would be. But now I'm able to at least have, some focus. It's more focus. What I'm getting at is more focus. I don't know. I don't want to say I don't know how I did this, but it's a long process, I'm sure. Look, another cat. I'm sure I've already voiced over in the first video what my history with anxiety, but it took many weeks. It was every day, and I pushed myself because I felt like I was at the bottom of the barrel, and I was. Not necessarily in terms of truly being at the bottom, but in terms of emotionally, yes, I was at the bottom. I felt lost, and I'm still recovering from that. I'm still dealing with some mental health stuff, but every day I find that if I focus and I just do the work every single day, that something will have to give. Because ultimately it does. When I was years ago, when I first had anxiety and I was first doing this, that's what pushed me. Then I had nothing, truly. No job, no nothing. Couldn't leave the house, nothing. So it was every day doing this walk. Every single day. Sometimes I'd even do it in the mornings and additionally in the afternoon. So sometimes I'd spend 4 hours outside. I spend an hour and a half in the mornings and another hour and a half in the evenings. That's when I was comfortable to go on. I could probably do night walks, but you know, at this current moment, I'm doing other stuff as well. So, like, more exposure, or still continuing exposure with other things, but, you know, at least now it's getting to a point where I can at least tolerate it, you know, like my mental health stuff. So it's greatly improved by, you know, the workouts. Sorry, not the workouts. I mean, this is a workout. I mean, walking is a form of exercise, but I mean, eating healthy, the dieting, losing weight. Obviously, you want to try to make sure that you do it healthy, because, I mean, at first, when I had my, you know, at the beginning of the month, it was pure, you know, it was like a, I don't want to say subtle, it was a huge drop in me, you know, not eating, not focusing on my weight, or sorry, on my dieting or eating. Okay, so so just got 4 left. It's still sunny out, so I like that. I don't got no more water left, but yeah, okay, we were able to do it. I didn't think I was gonna be able to do that. So, I'm not sure if you were able to catch my hesitation as I walked, but there was a slight slow in my walk. Slowness, I should say. Alright, let's go across this street again. Make sure to watch the streets. So it still feels weird to me right now. You know, it still feels abnormal, but I'm finding that if I just focus on what's in front of me and around me, oh no, it's more grounding. So again, we're gonna try to go to the school sign. All right, here we go. Once you do it, just go back. Alright. Good to go. But, yeah, so. Are you okay? What do I see? Ow. See 2 stumps. Ow. Try to make it like, don't cut corners, you know, like, because when you're panicking you want to get to like a certain place really fast. That was my mistake previously in my, you know, when I had like a bunch of anxiety, you know, many years ago. So what I try to do is try to do things normally, meaning, you know, go the right way. That way, like, that way I don't still develop, like even small avoidances like that, with like cutting a corner, you know, just try to do it the normal way. Even though you will feel the anxiety, just just do it. And I know it's so easy for me to say just do it, right? But you will thank yourself right after. You will thank yourself. You will say, you would just do what I just did right now. You know, it's liberating. You know, it feels good. You know, what a friend told me, even with, you know, dealing with my mental stuff and everything, there's always going to be bad days. There's always going to be good days. You know, like, and that's true, because I found that, like, some days it seems so, I feel so better. You know, like, I feel like I can conquer the world. I feel, quote unquote, more normal. But there are days, you know, like, that it will feel difficult. You know, emotionally, it'll feel difficult. And that's what happened to me. Like, even earlier today, I was feeling emotionally not there, you know? Just, I don't know, just wasn't feeling it. And, but, you know, as time goes on, don't fester on the, sorry, I'm not sure if my audio cut out. But yeah, just don't fester on, like, the negative. You know, time goes on. There's another cat. Just, like, staring at me. I actually feed a black cat, but I don't think that's him. Samba. That's not Samba. Nah, that's a smaller black cat. But there's a lot of cats that come in here. Like, this house has a ton of them. But yeah, so where was I going with that? Yeah, so, you know, just do what you can. And some days are going to be easier than others. But I actually like getting sun on my face now. Like, the sun feels good. And another thing, sorry, I'm not sure if you can sometimes hear me. Oh, look, another black cat. Oh, look, there's a black cat. He's like, what the heck? Samba. That's not Samba. Oh, that's the same black cat. The freak. Alright, so I'm gonna go right here. Cool. What was I saying? What was I saying? Sorry, I'm kind of forgetful. I was saying, don't fester on the bad thoughts. Yeah, like, you'll always have your bad days and your good days. But yeah, I mean, what else can I tell you in terms of things? Like, as I am walking, oh look, the cat's back. Oh my god, you saw him. I feel like there's like 2 cats. Or it could be the same one, he just keeps going. It's probably the fastest cat ever. But anyways, changing my diet, just working on myself, and yeah, just trying to develop healthier habits, I would say. So before I would actually walk all the way down there, and I was able to do like the whole block around there, but I'm not there yet. But actually, the peace and quiet that you feel without headphones. It's at first it's very intimidating. Like it's like you're opening sound and not the sounds that you find relaxing, like calming music or, what I mentioned, like relaxation stuff. It's more like just neighborhood stuff. Cars, people talking, dogs barking. Daily life. But one thing that I do like is that I'm starting to like that I'm not paying attention to I am talking to my phone, but I like the fact that I'm not texting anybody, I'm not listening to stuff. Like after a while, I think after the traffic kind of calmed down, like, the school being out, all the cars, all the kids, etc. I'm finding that the peace is very, like the sound. The quietness is, it's feeling peaceful. And like, it's kind of grounding, like kind of giving me or providing me with clarity. Oddly, because obviously those who suffer with anxiety, extreme anxiety, know that it's hard to get a clear mind, and in those clarity moments you cherish them so much, and you kind of feel like they slip away a lot faster than they stay. But I'm starting to notice that the quietness, I'm getting used to the quietness, and it's a peaceful quietness, especially with like not too much traffic or like, cars going around. It's more like peaceful. You just hear like birds chirping or like cats. You see cats. Alright, we're good to go. So, how many do we have left? I think we only have 3 left. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we have 3 more rocks left. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So I've been on my walk. Well, it's showing on here going about 40 minutes. Just right on to 40 minutes, but I've actually been on the walk for an additional, I believe, 50 minutes prior to me recording. I was very hesitated, or I had some hesitation on recording at first, because I was like, what if they see me panic? Or like, what if this even makes me panic? Or like, what if I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like, what if I have to hold my phone up the entire time? And, just thoughts. But, when I first started talking to the phone, I was like, what the f***? I was like, so this is how vloggers feel? Because you're like talking to yourself in a way, but there's nobody on. At the present moment, there's no one listening, so it's like, you kind of question it. You're like, what the heck? But I found that the more I talked, the more comfortable I was feeling as well. just kind of like, instead of your thoughts being inside your head, they're I'm not sure you hear my stomach, but they're more external. So that's cool. But yeah, we are. I kind of don't want to check my phone because I want to make sure I get 2 hours outside. But if I check my phone, the video will end. But being that I have how many? 1, 2, 3. We got 3 more rocks to put back. So I think I'll just check after we're done doing the 3. I would try to make it around. The goal is to make it around. I mean, I've already made it. I just haven't recorded it. I mean, I have made it around the entire block, but for the time being, for the moment, without headphones, I don't fully trust myself just yet. But in due time, I'm sure I'll get there. Because like I said, and the group therapy teaches you that as well. That with repetition, with repetition, your anxiety decreases. But there's another way to put it. Like, if the more you avoid, the more your anxiety increases. The more you address your anxiety or put yourself into it, it will start to decrease. And what I'm doing right now, it's called in vivo. I believe that's spelled INVIVO. And what that means is, I believe that means like in real, like, I don't want to say like in real time, but like it's performing an action, meaning you're actually exposing yourself to something. So you're not, like, there's imagery, and there's in vivo, which is what I'm currently doing right now. Alright, let's go to that block over there. Ow. And when I say ow, it's not me like hurting, it's just me like contemplating, like, because I'll not want to go further, but then I'll tell myself just do it, and then to like, for some odd reason, to put myself into focus, I'll just be like, ow, like, it's more like when you're panicking a little bit, you're like, ow, like, or when you're thinking too much, you're like, ow. So I don't know, it just gives me something to focus on, like faking like you're in pain. Like, oh my gosh. But another small tick I need to get over probably. But yeah, look, there's another cat. You can't see it, but it's up there. Maybe you can. But yeah, so that's in vivo, yeah. We're going over that. And then there's imagery, which is like, you imagine the thing that you were afraid of. Like, you can do that at home. I haven't done that because we just learned about it, but I mean, I've probably done it with not even thinking about it, or not even putting a label on it, just like, oh. But yeah, it's like you imagine the thing that you're scared of. And for those who are wondering, that's not a clown, that's a street vendor. And yeah, it's I believe, am I saying it right? Lecheto? No, sorry. Yeah, I forgot the name. But I need to use the bathroom. But I don't want to take a break. Alright, so I'm gonna hold it. Ah, gosh, I really need to use it. Yeah, I'm gonna just hold it. I need to take a number 2, unfortunately, but I'm gonna just hold it as much as I can. Try to get at least one more in. Okay, now I need to use the bathroom. This. Alright. Sorry, let me adjust my... I know I got some... I forgot that I had an apple in my freaking... For some reason I put my freaking apple there. That wasn't a good idea. But yeah, don't mind that. Oh, Jesus. Alright, we'll just hold it like this. Okay. So as I was saying, we're on the walk. Just gotta finish up two more rocks, or 2 more laps. It's actually weird being on the toilet. Like, I think I watched the video a little bit. And I guess you can't really hear me. I mean, you can, but like you can't at the same time. So, but yeah, this is a different experience for sure. Got myself another water bottle. And let's try to do this. Oh no, 3 more. We got 3 rocks. Alright. 3 rocks. That was the first rock. So after you're done, well, I guess I find for me, after I'm done doing a goal or like an accomplishment, I take a moment to just take a deep breath right after, like it's very rewarding for me. So I'll feel like, dang, you did something. Like something good. So on the way back, you feel a lot better. Like right now, obviously you feel a lot better than being in the more anxiety prone situation. But even doing this right here would be, I can imagine doing this like 5 months ago, 4 months ago, even 3 months ago. I couldn't have saw myself doing this. Like, this was like the most fear-provoking thing that I could do ever. But breathe in, breathe out. Touch the sign. So one thing that I started doing is go ahead and start to what my old therapist, this is what my old therapist taught me, but it helps. Like, you'll start to count those steps, or count anything, but for me steps help because obviously they're in pairs, and they keep going. So like, I'll either do this internally in my head, or you can quietly do it however is more comfortable to you to do it. Just do it. Like even counting these, like 1, 2, 3, you know, like small things like that. You know, look at fences, like there's a white fence. Focus on what helped me was when I first started doing this was I would tell myself things like, so for instance, one of my friends told me it's an unfamiliar feeling, like that's it. Essentially that's it. Like we're just unfamiliar with it. Being, meaning like being in like, you know, past our goal, you know, like feeling the anxiety, it's unfamiliar, it's, you know, it's, but that's all it is, just, that's it. So the idea is just to tell yourself that although it's unfamiliar, like, that's all it is, it's just a feeling, you know. So, that's something that I do sometimes, you know, just tell yourself. Another thing I'll do is, just look at the nature, you know, like, look at trees, look at rocks, you know. When I was listening to the mindfulness on the Calm app, there's a section it's called mindfulness walking. It's, if I can remember her name, what the heck's her name? It's like Tamara Levette or something like that. It's basically guided meditation, or like a guided walk, where it'll be like crickets in the background, and it's like soothing music, and she'll walk you through a walk. Like she'll say, you know, hey, you know, she'll say her name and say, welcome to this 30-minute walk. You can select, I mean, the Calm app is not a sponsor, by the way, but I want to suggest it out to anybody who's dealing with anxiety. That I'm just throwing that out there, like, download the Calm app. It is something you need to pay for, but I have Kaiser in California, so perhaps you may have Kaiser as well. But I know Kaiser, this group that I joined, they offered like a free year subscription, so I actually got it for free for like a year. But if you have the money to fork it out and to buy it, then I would suggest doing that. Because, well, one person in my group, or one individual in our group, she actually mentioned that she bought it for life. Like, she bought a lifetime subscription. Oh, look, there's one cat right there, and then another one up there. But she bought it for like the lifetime subscription. I'm not sure how much that costs, probably a lot. But she has it for life, and honestly, I might even do the same thing. But anyways, moving on. The guided meditation walk. She walks you through a 30-minute walk. You know, she'll say things like, let's focus on how our bottom portion of our body feels right now, meaning like our legs, you know, things like that. She goes on to say, like, feel every step that you take. How does it feel when like your toes touch the ground? You know, is there like a heaviness to your walk? Look, there's a cat right there and right there. Hey, kitties. And I'm gonna try to make it a little bit past. Hey, kitty. Hey, kitty. Oh yeah. He's like, F off. But yeah. So that's all that it really is. It's very useful, because she'll say, like, she'll go on to do, you know, focus. Now let's shift focus to like your upper body. How do you feel? Then she'll say, you know, let's focus on like the surrounding sounds. You know, what can you hear? Also, she goes on to say things like, what what do you see, focus on like the houses around you if you're like in a residential area, focus on the cars that you see, you know, just like it's meant to be mindful. And when you're mindful, you tune in to everything, like to your senses. Like, what do you see, what do you hear, what do you feel, what do you touch, like, you know, things like that. That's a fluffy cat. And that's all that it really is. And that helps me a lot. That helped me at the beginning. Well, I don't want to say at the beginning, because when I was at the very beginning on my walks, I was listening to like motivational stuff. That was more so for emotional push, and also just the walk itself, you know, to push me as well. But it was both. It was for, I mean, I guess they're both mental stuff, but I mean, like emotionally, you know, it was like a push for me too. But then I stopped doing that because I remember it was either in a video I saw, it's like these two guys that, or no, it's this main guy who works out. But anyways, he said like motivation is bullshit. And what he meant by that is like, motivation will get you going, but it's through repetition, it's through like doing it every day that's gonna make all the difference. So that's kind of where I stopped listening to motivational speeches, you know, because like it's kind of like when you're at a gym and like you're using like this pump up music, like obviously like it'll pump you up, but, or like, I guess that's a bad example because maybe you do need like pump music to fucking work out and shit, but I mean in terms of like, say if you like want to, I don't know, go on a run and you to pump yourself up to go on the run, you listen to like this motivational thing, like it could be music, it could be anything, just to get you up to do it and to do it throughout the entire activity or whatever. But what I want to start doing is repetition, and not needing a motivational speech or something motivational to get me on these walks, or even to get me through them. So that was my goal in shifting from, you know, listening to that to then listening to like the mindfulness stuff, like, because it was a huge difference. It was like, you know, like when you're listening to like motivational stuff, it's like all this pump up music and like, you know, somebody telling, you know, it's like someone's talking indirectly to you, like, you can do it, you know, just motivational shit. But I wanted to, go from that to just some calm, quiet, mindfulness stuff, you know, being in the moment. And that was a huge shift for me. It was a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit unsettling to make that adjustment, but I found that it gave me, like, on a good day, well, like I said, you always have your good days and bad days, but the first day that I did it, you know, the first walk, it was kind of like this. It was like a little bit earlier, like probably like an hour earlier, like how we were before, you know, like the sun wasn't too down, but it was a lot of clarity. That's what I'm trying to get at. You know, there was a lot of clarity, so it felt good. And although it was different, I just got used to it, because you go from somebody pumping you up to just someone telling you, like, you know, hey, focus on focus on freaking some trees, some nature, you know, like it's a very different feeling. So that's where I was at. And so now I'm shifting from that, because the group therapy, it told you afterwards, like, well, yesterday I had the group therapy, but like I mentioned, it's subtle distractions, or sorry, subtle avoidances. Meaning like I mentioned, like your headphones, that could be used as something that's subtle, like a subtle avoidance. So so now it's a huge shift, going from that to just nothing, to just being like the only thing that you can hear is yourself, or or like your walk, your strut, or whatever you want to call it, or like cars, that you hear right next to me, and things like that. And that's all you have, So you essentially, you're getting down to the bare bones of your anxiety, because you have nothing to depend on but yourself, and that's it. So it's in vivo is a scary experience. I don't want to say it's not, because I know that it is. But if you do this every single day, like I have, it'll get easier. And when I say every single day, I mean literally every single day, like taking no breaks at all. For instance, I'll give you I'll briefly tell you my my thing. It's just, you go on a walk for 2 hours every day for 2 hours, no matter the weather. And I know, like, I don't want to get anybody sick out there for, like, in the snow or something. Obviously wear the appropriate clothing for your weather, but even in the rain, because it was to that point where I was so anxious. So and a storm hit us right when this happened, like, where I just needed to do this again. And I didn't care if it was raining or not. I was soaking. I think I was wearing this jacket or this sweater, and it was completely pouring, and I could have brought an umbrella, but I didn't. And I did that on purpose. Like, it was intentional for me not to bring it, because I don't know, I was just, I just wanted to be out the house, So I started my walks, and I did it regardless of the weather, regardless of anything. It was rainy, it was cold some days, but I still did it. Afterwards, I kind of smartened up, and I got, a freaking raincoat, and, purchased an umbrella, things like that. But I still took that with me. It was windy, but the more you avoid your anxiety, the worse it's gonna get. And I woke up, I think that earlier this month, I woke up to reality, and I wasn't happy with it. I've been so comfortable, whatever. I've been so comfortable with where I was, like having a remote job, like I began to talk to a therapist, like 4 or 5 months ago, but I was never truly serious about getting better. Like, if I was, I would have done what I'm doing now, like going on walks every day, no, for more than, the walks that I was doing prior to all this was very minimal, like 20 minutes, 15 minutes. Now it's 2 hours. So the more time, and I think I'm documenting this too. At first I didn't want to. Because I was not thinking anything. I was just going through, I'm still going through some mental stuff, but I was like I mentioned, I was at the bottom of the barrel in terms of mental health. So I was not focused on doing this, but through feeling a little bit better, I've decided to document my process. And I think I'm doing it for myself, but mainly for a lot of other people out there who struggle with this. Someone in my group, it was kind of sad to hear this last night, or like in the evening when I had, the group with someone. We had watched a video, like of this lady, and she had agoraphobia, and she couldn't get into elevators, or even, it was like 2 stories down, just like 2 stories. She had to take an elevator down, and she was very scared, because she would take the stairs up, but being in an elevator, or even like traveling, like being on the subway or like the bus, she couldn't do that. And in the video, it showed like her going to the therapy appointment, and she actually started to do this exposure therapy, like what I'm currently doing right now. And it was a quick, like 5-minute video, but it showed her progress. Eventually led to her actually getting on a bus. It led to her, first led from her, like it showed the experience of her taking the elevator down with her therapist, and then she did it by herself, and then then she started doing it all by herself, like every single time. And it was very liberating to watch, to watch that. So I'm gonna go a little bit farther. I'm gonna go like right here. Okay. And at times I do. Okay, well, let me just not get off topic. But it showed, her being able to do the elevator, and then it eventually showed her being able to go on the bus, and then it showed her being able to take the trains, and then once she saw her therapist again, or like the next time she saw her therapist, it was like she was a new person. You can see her walk, like she wasn't anxious, it was like someone walking with confidence, like a changed person. She almost seemed like a different person, so it was very humbling to see. But what I'm getting at is that someone in my group, after watching that, the therapist asked us, like, how do we feel? Sorry, let me let the truck pass. The therapist asked us, like, how do we feel about that video that we just watched? And my thoughts were like, it was very liberating to see this woman transform from being so anxious to like now being able to actually go on buses and go on subways, and at the end it showed them meeting up with the producer of the guy who was the host of the show, or the news station, whatever. It like showed him meeting up with her. Alright, so for some reason the video cut out because I don't have enough storage space. So hopefully this is my last lap. So I'm just gonna quickly record this. Sorry, let me just clean that. Ooh, I'm gonna quickly record this, and then whatever. I'll just finish the video. So what I was saying was that she ended up going to like the 50th floor, and her anxiety just improved tremendously. But someone in the group had said, it made me feel, because someone, the therapist asked everybody how they felt, and this one particular woman, or girl, I should say, said, it made her feel sad, happy at the same time, but sad because she felt as if like, when would she be able to do that herself? Like, she thought in her head, or she's thinking like she's never going to be normal again, and it made her sad. Happy for the girl, for the woman who overcame the anxiety, but sad for herself because she doesn't feel like she's going to be able to do that ever again, because she asked herself, like, when am I going to be able to do all these things? And and she said that she was crying in the She's like, I don't want to speak on the chat because otherwise I'll be crying. But yeah, that's what she had said. So I felt very sad about that. But I feel like that's why I'm kind of making these videos. That's the last one, but that's kind of why I'm making these videos. If I can provide any hope for somebody, because I didn't think I'd be able to be on this street ever again. Like I told myself, you know, even though I was doing therapy and stuff, I always told myself, like, you're never going to be able to do that again, you know? Like, you're never going to be able to walk around the block, you know? And I've accomplished that. You know, like, I'm not even wearing headphones. I've been wearing headphones for the last, like, 2 hours. Well, like, hour and 40 minutes, 50 minutes. But, you know what I mean? Like, so that's what I'm doing this for. It gives me actually more inspiration to record these videos, and I think I'm gonna start using my second phone to record the videos, and I'll just keep my phone on me because that phone doesn't have any storage, or has a lot more storage, I should say. But yeah, so that's kind of why I felt the need to record these videos, because I know there's someone struggling out there like I am, you know. And even when I was at, you know, a worse position than I am right now, where I wasn't even able to even go down the entire street, you know, or even around the corner, or even just not wear headphones, you know, like that's a big accomplishment in and of itself. So yeah, that's kind of what's driving me right now, to pick up the phone and hit that video or record button. But I will upload these eventually. I just need to find some time to do it. I mean, I have the time, but that's another hurdle I need to get over too, is like being able to focus on like video editing and stuff. But I'll find time to do it. But yeah, thanks for being on this walk with me, and until next time.